What's up, guys? It's Jesus here with the Van Bros, and today we got pretty big news from the product stream that happened earlier today. As you can see on the screen right now, we have our ban list. Well, they showed it for 13 seconds. I think Different Fight timed it. I don't know why they're so quick with this fucking ban list. It's not like it's huge or anything, you know. It's like, but let's take a look at it. So, Yuma for Yakuza has been hit to 2. I think I saw a lot of people online kind of begging for the card to be put to 1 instead of 2. I don't know if 2 is going to be enough to kind of, you know, kill it, because it is a recurring 15k shield from Soul. So, I don't know, hitting it to 2 seems like it's more for like a small consistency hit, but, you know, I'll be the judge, you know, not I'll be, but time will tell if this is going to do anything to the deck. As you can see, there is severely a lack of Keter hits. Now, for Keter, I don't understand why people thought Surgown was going to get like a ban or like a restriction. I used to think that, but then I realized like, okay, well then why aren't we hitting the other nations who have similar cards? And most nations now have pretty decent normal orders to trigger their versions of Surgowns, like Shenri and Philia. So I didn't understand the thought of needing to hit Surgown. I think Aichi Icon did need a hit. I can kind of see why they didn't hit Aichi Icon. Mainly because it's the 15th anniversary, it's their main character deck. They're probably fucking happy as all hell that it's seeing tons of success, because hey, what screams my card game's great, other than the protagonist deck doing really good. But yeah, honestly, it should have been hit. I was talking to 3 to Pass, Caleb, Tyler, and Dylan. Well, not Dylan, I think that bum's asleep. But Michael too, who also appears on this channel and 3 to Pass occasionally, on our group chat. And I'll say this, they're not too happy with the stream, they're kind of bummed, but usually whenever they see a lyrical booster, they get bummed out. So I think that's the reason why. But no, I honestly do think Aichi Icon needed to be hit. If it wasn't like a hit to their like kill turn, which is like, you know, almost every turn, it should have been a hit to consistency. In my opinion, they could have put Gansalot down to 2 or maybe even 1, or even choice restricted with Sanctuary Guard Dragon. I think 0's fine because you can play around 0, but you really can't play around Gansalot because it's free. 0 you can play around because even though like on place he can draw for energy, you can't really, you can choke the shit out of their fucking resources by not dealing damage. And I don't think most Aichi Icon lists play a countercharger, so like if they're kind of haphazardly using their resources, then that's one way to stop it 0 wise. But yeah, I feel like they could have done a choice restriction or anything with Gansalot, since it's from set 12. There's no signs of a reprint anytime soon, even though 0 is getting a reprint. Gansalot didn't. So yeah, very odd. The unhits, so I guess like Shiranui got a small buff, but time will tell if that's gonna do anything. Usually for stride decks, unless it's like inherently like not degenerate, but like unless the stride deck can have a different playstyle other than like, you know, stall, usually those tend to go off the wayside. I feel like these Shiranui hits might just make the deck on the same tier as like Messiah and Crest Chrono. But you know, like I say, time will tell. Maybe somebody is gonna find the goo with Shiranui, and this is actually more problematic than we think. Going to the next piece of news. This deck's never gonna fucking die, man. Like, I'm so sick of this shit. Like, they made Draconis for what? Why does she exist if they're gonna just keep making support for Amorta and Odium? As you can see here, they're doing support for Liel, Amorta, and Odium, coming in DZBT17, which is the movie set. I like the artwork. I really like the artwork. I fuck with I love Keter, the Keter aesthetic. But like this one just is like real. I don't know. I kind of like it, and I also kind of don't. I don't mind the Keter aesthetics, but listen, I hate men. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just think the art on this one looks a little corny. Just a little bit too much detail sometimes is, in my opinion. Like it just looks a little weird. The lines are too thick. I don't know. I don't know why I don't like it. I should like it, but I don't. Maybe it's because the fucking yellow horrendous monster in front of him. I fucking hate Liel Amorta so much. Like, that card is the definition of awful. Why isn't it Draconis? It could have been fucking Draconis, man. But next to him is the latest and greatest in. I'm shocked that they still have steampunk shit to go around after Artasaria stole it all. But yeah, we have another steampunk sword smith or whatever, or swordswoman. Yeah, she got big goofy goggles. I don't know what she's gonna do for Odium. I feel like Odium has a lot of like. Odium's already got fucking plenty. The greed on this fucking card, man. Jeez Louise. But yeah, we're gonna get support for that. That was pretty cool. Hey, are you Japanese? I don't know the channel statistics, but hey, if you're Japanese, go to the movies, because not only do you get to purchase the booster packs or the booster packs of set 17 early, you also get a PR pack or a PR card that, you know, they're gonna give you. Hopefully this PR card is not like some crazy check top 7 from drop, call something and, you know, bind it. You know, hopefully it's not some crazy promo that's gonna make or break a deck. You know, hopefully it's not something that is gonna take 2 years for the United States to get, and it's just slashed in as a reprint, and, you know, it's $80 out the door. You know, hopefully it's something that's, you know, not fucking playable. I don't know. To me, in my opinion, these fucking types of PRs, I think, like the Yu-Gi-Oh movies in the US did a pretty decent job, because what they gave you was more so like nostalgia slop. Well, not for the Pyramid Light, because you can't really be nostalgic on shit that's current, but like the Exodia shit was nostalgia slop. The fucking, even going to Pyramid Light, like, you know, the Shining Dragon, the something sorcerer, like in the Watapon or whatever, like that was fine, because that shit was unplayable. Like, you literally couldn't play Shining Dragon because you didn't have Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon at the time. But like, that's what I mean. I feel like a PR card should be something like an experience. Like it's like you know how, like, sometimes, I don't know if you guys do this. I do this where if I go to an event, or if I go to a concert, or if I go to a movie, I save the ticket, because that's sentimental to me. So a PR card or a promo should be something similar, where it's not necessarily a playable card, but something that kind of, you know, like helps you remember that evening you had with friends to go watch the movie. You know, something like that. But, you know, the fucking scalper brain fucking people are gonna be like, oh, well, there's not worth it to get a PR card if it doesn't have any inherent value. Card games are not an investment. If you think card games are investments, I honestly think you should walk into traffic. But anyways, enough of that. If you're in Japan, get your PR card. Hopefully it's, you know, fucking, in all honesty, I hope it's not playable. And if it is playable, I hope it's a playable, like, I hope it's an alt art of a playable card. But big fucking news. Oh my fucking god, we got new Razael. His name is fucking beautiful too. What was his fucking name? His name is like Moon Miracle fucking, oh god, I literally was like right there. Moon of Miracles Rezael Veritas, or whatever, you know, I'm trying to put a little flair there. But yes, Razael is getting a new form. I really fuck with this art. I think this art is beautiful. He's got the fucking mythish crest on his pauldron. Is that a pauldron or a chest plate? Chest plate. Yeah, I don't know what a pauldron is. Why am I using that word? Not only that, but he's got the purple aura from that bird. That fucking, I hate this fucking bird, man. Rafistor. My hype made its way to Twitter, and you know, somebody, you know, Astro Susano, you crazy dog, you scared me, because you replied to my tweet saying guard restrict maybe, and that got me thinking, because if he is using the mythish power, or like if he's using the power of Rafistor, then is my boy gonna have like some disgusting guard restrict? Now let's get this out of the way. I truly do not think that you're gonna have to forego the original Razael. I think you're gonna have to still play it, just because it keeps the deck a little balanced, so you don't have to spam out the Surgowns. I'm gonna tell you guys right now what I want this card to do, because I've been telling like everybody that will lend me their ear what I think a new Razael will do. Okay, so to not have it be a direct copy of the other Razael, I actually didn't even want it to have to deal with the original. I more so like I wanted to like I want it to be its own unit. Obviously it's not going to, because you know that way you can keep the Surgown restriction. But what I thought this card could do is, you know, like I feel like it could be like either like one of those on attack evolution cards. Like if Razael attacks, you can kind of like do like a Rebel form or Rebel dress into this new one on the attack to kind of give something wacky. Either that, or once you are on this Razael, if you have the original in Soul, you can gain the power from Vita. But when he swings, instead of being able to call two that are limited, like whose grades are like, you know, have to be different, and it's up to the amount of damage that you have, I was saying like, okay, because this is his final form, what if on swing you can call as many whose grades equal up to the damage that you have? You know, like if you have 5 damage, you could call 2 grade 2s and a grade 1 in the back, or you could call like a grade 2 and 3 grade 1s in the back, like, you know, something like that. I feel like could be cool. Either that, I mean, that sounds busted, but I feel like if he's the final evolution, he should be a little busted. I hope he doesn't require putting any pieces into the soul, anything like that. I kind of want him to be similar. I think Varga, I'll be honest, I think Varga had a really good evolution. I think Raksasha, I think that's what it's called, or you know, remind me or correct me in the comments. I think Varga had a really good evolution, because you still had to play the original Varga for that one turn, but then you rode into the new Varga, which I thought was pretty cool. Yeah, it was pretty cool. So yeah, I hope this Razael doesn't require any older Razaels to pull off an effect. I hope it just means like, oh yeah, as long as you have it in like as long as you have it in your drop zone or in your soul, like it can do its thing. I hope he has a different divine skill. I hope he has a divine skill that's similar to so think of, this is a divine skill I thought that he could have. You declare your divine skill, you pay the cost, but then at the end of the turn you put a trigger back into the deck instead of putting all of them back at once and getting triple drive. Like you put the triggers back into the deck. And then you can give the evolution triple drive or whatever. I don't even think it needs triple drive. I don't think triple drive should be a thing if you have 5 attacks for balancing purposes. So yeah, like that's one thing. The cool thing is we know that because it's a Razael card, it's going to work with all the older support. There's no specific support for Rezael. I think the only thing that sucks is that he's no longer a faded one. So I don't know if that's going to fucking mean anything. But yeah, maybe... I don't know if that's going to mean anything. As long as he has a divine skill, I think he still works with a majority of the support outside of the Rezael support. But yeah, it's super, super hype that we're getting a new Rezael. It's predictable that we're going to get one, but I mean, even then, it's like, God, can you let me be excited? We haven't had a new fucking Rezael since like set 5, although his support has been beautiful. I think Rezael got great support. So yeah, let's go on to the next thing. Remember that DSR video I made? Well, fuck. So, honestly, we could do a quick little DSR, rating here. I would probably put this in in masterpiece ranking, based off of my previous video. I think it's great. I think it looks great. I love when the character and the units interact in the DSR artwork. And just having, like, you know, Razael right there, like, ready to kill, and fucking Akina just, like, kind of bumming it on his wing. It looks cool. It invokes Digimon. Tyler says that this new Razael looks even more like a Digimon, and I can't help but agree. But I love Digimon as a franchise, not the TCG. So, quite frankly, that's a plus for me. So, yeah, this looks great. I wish that the wing wasn't in the way. I wish he was maybe just sitting on his actual, like, shoulder. But to be honest, I still think this is a really nice looking card. I think Akina should have gotten a different outfit, but that's just character design, so, you know, you can't really blame the illustrator for this, because they're kind of... actually, no, you can, because they gave you a different outfit for a DSR. Give him a different outfit. Fuck it. But yeah. Past that, we got Keter Leonore. She's a little angel, so that's cool. I'm gonna say this right now. I do not think they're gonna make her, like... I don't think they're gonna make her, like, super important. Or, like, they're not important, but I don't think they're gonna make her super busted, where, like, you can use, like, NKO and, like, Sir Gawain in the same deck. Like, obviously it's Keter, so that's like, if you see Keter, like, that's like the first thing the neurons fire is Sir Gawain and NKO. But maybe this Keter, or maybe this Leonore and Phantom is going to, one, you know, she's already using the moon orders, right? So she's gonna have that. Maybe they give her, like, her own order similar to Xerath, or what's it called, they make her so that her skill, because obviously Leonore's skill is on attack, you can boost with the entire back row. They're probably going to have her rest and gain the original power written on the card on attack, and then restand the 2, so that she isn't being boosted per se, so that you can't activate Sir Gawain's effect. I feel like they're gonna try to word her in a way where she can't spam 3 Sir Gawins, like, in one turn. If that's the case, I hope she doesn't have any recurability. Like, I don't want her to be able to call out, shift, and drop. She'll probably have a Maple clone, being realistic. She'll probably be like a 5 attack deck, being realistic. But I don't know. You know, is it so wrong to try to have a little faith in seeing that because I'll be honest, the Phantom units so far, yes, they're not the strongest units to come out, but they're really interesting in terms of what they've been doing in terms of gameplay. So I'm excited to see what they're going to do with Leonore, and her art is beautiful. I'll probably end up picking this deck up because I play Keter and I already have Blankmire Phantom, so I pretty much have all the shit I need to play this deck. But yeah, like I said, time is going to tell. With a lot of this stuff with Bushiroad, time is going to tell. But yeah, expect what's it called? Proxies to come out. But guys, I'm gonna have to do an update. I think I'm gonna have to stop making the proxies The main reason is, oh wait, you can't read that? Okay, I gotcha. Starting with the new 2027 series, main booster sets will be simultaneously released in both Japanese and English. This is the biggest fucking news that we have ever gotten for Vanguard, aside from the game rebooting. This is the biggest news that's positively impacted Vanguard in the history of Vanguard. A lot of TCGs are going the route of simultaneous release. Bushiroad, who claims to want to be the biggest TCG company in the world, either because they have 11 TCGs down to 9 because they had to chop 2 of them. They probably saw what the company that does what they do but better, Bandai, they saw what they were doing and they said, fuck, we got to do that too. Don't know why it took them so long to get the ball rolling. Then again, I will give them the benefit of the doubt that, you know, like, by the time every other company was doing simultaneous release, they were sort of midway through Divines. So yes, I kind of get it in that front. But this is big. I'm not gonna give Bushiroad shit for this because this is a big fucking thing. They finally started doing simultaneous releases, and it's exciting. This means that shit like what happened with the cyclers for Youthberg, as well as Dark States and Stoicheia, isn't gonna happen or shouldn't happen. So think about it this way. So for me, in putting it in my perspective, when Youthberg Phantom was first revealed, they revealed him before Set 13 came out in Japan. And because of that, I said to myself, okay, well, because he's Dragon Empire, he's probably going to need the Cycler as well. And so, you know, by the time that Set 13 came out, you know, we knew all the Cyclers did the same shit. And, you know, that was that. We knew a Youthberg's effect too because they released, or they revealed it in the Tuesday stream. And I believe he was revealed before Set 13 was even out in Japan. So we had all of that knowledge. People already dunked on the deck. They shat on it because they said, oh, it's not that strong. And what happened? Alfred came out. I think it's called Alfred. But that came out to a whimper. And then Youthberg came out to a big sigh. And so when Set 13 made its way to the West, I picked up my 4 for, I think it was $8 a pop. I think I overpaid for them, to be completely honest. But yeah, I said, you know, I might as well pick it up. I'm gonna pick up my Blankmeyer stuff. I'm gonna pick up my Youthberg stuff as well. So like as much as I can. So I picked up my 4 copies of Habitable Zone Phantom, and I just left them in my binder. Then when Set 14 came out, the only news that we had so far was that Xerath was getting a new form. That kind of made the Cycler for Stoicheia to go up in price. We had already known Welstra and Artisaria were going to be Phantom units who were part of Stoicheia and Dark States. So that made sense. You know, it made sense as to why these 2 decks were gonna have it made sense as to why the cards were expensive for us, because we already knew that those cards were gonna come out. In Japan, they didn't know that. In Japan, all they had known by the time those cards first hit the market was that Gabuelius and Xerath were the only 2 decks that utilized these Cyclers. For the West, we didn't have that option. For the West, we unfortunately had to already see a new form for Xerath before we even had Xerath. Artisaria confirmed, Welstra confirmed, and all that does, and because it's speculative, not only is it speculative, but it's also like, in Japan, Xerath is getting results. Artisaria is a waifu. So like, that together just creates a storm of fucking like not scalping, but like, it just creates a storm of like wanting to purchase more. Not only that, but they also changed the ratios for cases, so that meant less cards that were out and about, because I don't think an American store, because apparently every like like hobby shop out there like is just drowning in fucking like unsold Vanguard product that the game is practically gonna die. I'm pretty sure, you know, you lower the amount of booster packs in a box, for your average like store owner is not going to buy it, you know. So they're not gonna buy double. They're probably not gonna fucking buy more than they already purchased before or prior. So that means less cards out on the market, less speculation for both groups of players means that the cards should be cheaper, or probably we deal with a more, like, I remember when Aichi Icon was released, Gansalot bumped up in price in Japan. It's not like in Yu-Gi-Oh where product is cheap over there because like they have different rarities that they're printed at. Vanguard is very much an expensive game. It's also pretty expensive in Japan. So like, yes, we're gonna leave the speculation and we're gonna leave the tested formats out of the door, but we're still gonna have like pretty expensive secondary markets. So I don't think that's gonna change too much. I think they need to do something bigger to get that trust back in the West, which I don't know how it hasn't completely died off after 2 reboots. But can I say, this picture makes me so happy to see the Japanese and the English Vanguard logos together. Like, it's been a long time coming, man. It's been a long time coming. What a great way to start off the new year, to start off the new era for the game, with being simultaneous in both the game and probably even the show. Now, what does suck is that it says main booster sets. So, you know, if they have a side booster or promos that are included in wafer packs so you can pick up at Japanese Wawas, that's probably not going to come to us. So exclusive promos and shit like that probably aren't going to come to us on the same time frame. So I think having a Worlds that's merged is a little bit harder. Not really, because you could just have a custom ban list for Worlds. It's not that fucking hard. But yeah, no, I mean, this is major news. This is major news. Oh, by the way, you know, the craziest news also is the fact that Deer Days is also 30% off. So I don't know how Bushiroad, I don't know if Bushiroad is gonna be okay taking this huge pay cut for putting Deer Days 2 at 30% off. But you know what? They are a company that, they're my favorite indie company. They are my favorite small indie company. So, you know, if they're able to take the hit and give us 30% off for Deer Days 2 and no DLCs announced, then I'm all for it. You know? Nah, I'm joking. But anyways, that's been the video. Thank you guys for watching. And like, comment, subscribe, all the shebangs. You know? My fucking DSR video is also there, so watch that too, please. But yeah. Thanks for watching. Have a good one. And yeah.